start changing my settings on the vent for me, and I wouldn't be able to breathe, and I'd panic.
You really got bullied by these nurses.
I did.
They would change the settings on your vent so that you couldn't breathe?
Yeah. They would not give me my medications. It was awful. Like, I would write on my whiteboard, and I would take pictures, and I would send it to, like, my family at home. And they transferred me from one place to another. Didn't stop. It just got worse.
So it wasn't just one hospital with this bullying going on, it was happening?
It was 2 post-acute cares, yeah. The first hospital that I went to, the first post-acute care I went to, the one gentleman told me, he said, because that was the one where I was like in my feces, for 4 hours straight. And every night was somebody coding. So every night you have like this big sirens going off, and they're closing everybody's doors because somebody's coding, and they're running them out to the emergency room. And one guy came in, I was like, man, it's really loud. It keeps you up on it because it's every night. And he said, yeah, the only way you're going to get out of this post-acute care center is if you go out dead. And so at that point, they transferred me out to another post-acute care center. And then that's where I was getting bullied by the nurses, making fun of me and not giving me my medicine. I would ring my bell because I had to be changed. And she would come in, turn off my bell, look at me, and kind of, and then walk back out. And then she'd be out there just hanging out, talking to the other nurses for a couple of hours. And then when she came back in, I would kind of write to her, I can't control this. I'm on all these medications. I'm on a feeding tube. I can't stop myself. I have no control over my bowels. So I'm really sorry. I don't want to be in this position either. I don't like having to ask you for help. I don't like that you're responsible for me. I'm an independent person. Sorry. And, her comment was, look, lady, we all got problems here. And it's kind of like, okay, I get that. Like, I know you nurses are overworked right now. I get it. But to treat somebody in that position, and it wasn't just me. I'm in there, and I'm on a vent floor with all these other patients. And I'm being told that I was one out of the 2 that was aware of what was going on. And that is why the nurses didn't like me. It's because the other people that were on the vents were kind of just pretty much just out of it, not aware of anything. If they went to the bathroom, they just laid in, they didn't care. But because I was consciously aware of what was happening, I was able to ask them for help, and that's what they did not like. So I got to the point where I stopped asking for help, and I just waited until somebody wanted to come and check on me.
So, again, still, how did you get to the fact that you're out now with this tube on? And you did mention that they made you have a COVID shot?
Yes.
After you went through all that? I can't even believe that.
Yes, because I was in the post-acute, and I was on the vent floor with the other vent patients. And for me to be there and to not put all the other vent patients at risks, and with having the nurses and stuff coming in, I was required to have a shot.
Do you know what you had?
The Pfizer.
1 or 2? What do you have?
1.
Just 1. And so while you were there on the ward, COVID ward, they gave you a Pfizer shot?
Yes.
While you were what? Were you
While I was on the ventilator.
Or you on the, how?
Yes.
Somebody help me make sense of that.
I don't know. There's so many things that I can't make sense of that happened at the time.
So when you got out, what was that moment when you were back with your 12-year-old son like?
It's so hard to explain because I got to see him one time before I got out. They allowed him to come in for 30 minutes. And I sobbed the whole entire time. You try to keep it strong as being a mom, and I just could not keep it strong. Like, I just sobbed. So I was just so excited to see him whenever I got back out, and we had arranged for me to go to my partner's house because I wasn't able to live alone at this time, and I wasn't able to be around stairs. I was still on a walker, so I was very limited on what I could do. And my son came through the door, and he saw me sitting on the couch, and he got very emotional. He started crying. He came over and gave me this big hug, and he steps back and he says, "How long do you have before they have to take you back?"
Aw.
So I'm out for good. I'm not going back there ever again, no matter what.
And your son is here today, and you said that he came up, it was too much for him. Post-traumatic stress, I would imagine.
Yeah, he came up, walked up to the bus, and at first was all smiles, kind of nonchalant, and then he started hearing everybody's talk about their stories. And I think he saw me kind of get a little emotional because as I was listening and I started telling my story, he could see that I was getting emotional, and he can't handle it.
It's a lot
Okay.
for a 12-year-old to go through.
It is. Yes.
Thank you for telling your story. Is there anything else you want to tell the people? Is this your life now, attached to this machine?
Yeah, this is it. And right now, people kind of want to act like they want to forget that COVID happened. People act like, oh, that's just kind of in the past. But unfortunately, I can't forget it because it's my life. This is me now.
Yeah, this isn't COVID, this is hospital protocol.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't die like all the others did, but you got out on the grace of God, you got out.
All because of the hospital. Yeah,
Medical malpractice beyond belief.
correct.
And the fact that you were spoken to by those people like that must hurt the hearts of every viewer watching right now, that people can treat people like that. I'm sorry. Do you think your son will let me go and poke my head in the car and say hi? I can try.
You probably will.
All right. We got stories all day, viewers. We'll be back.